Coming up on this week's news, tolls are ready to roll out on Washington State's new 509 Expressway. Tolls begin on a new segment of a Florida toll road, and driving pain going to O'Hare in Chicago. We'll explain. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's update of all that's coming down the pike. We begin this week with that Chi-Town traffic trouble. The Illinois Tollway announced just before the weekend they're closing the ramp from the Jane Addams eastbound and the Tri-State Tollway southbound to westbound I-190 during the overnights Monday and Tuesday this week for work to replace the ramp plaza leading to O'Hare International Airport. A prefabricated toll building is being installed along with a monotube, and that's going to be happening in the overnights, but that does mean more drive time due to the detour, and for anyone taking late night or early morning flights from O'Hare, you'll need to add drive time going to the airport. Closures are only expected for the two overnights this week. Authorities stress unexpected issues and weather could change those plans. Tolls have begun on a new segment of Florida's First Coast Expressway, which flanks the west side of the Jacksonville metro area in northeast Florida. We announced the opening of the new segment over a month ago, but toll charges were not being levied while Clay County residents became acclimated to the new segment. That new segment connects from US 17 at the south end to Blanding Boulevard, which had been the old south terminus. In all, 18 miles of new roadway opened at the beginning of August. The toll to take that 18 miles of new roadway is $1.62 if you're driving a regular two-axle passenger car. Tolls begin at the end of the month in Washington State for the new SeaTac connector, which is the 509 Expressway. Locals have been allowed to try on for size the completed segments of that roadway, which opened on June 28th between I-5 and 24th Avenue South, shown here in this animation. That drive will begin costing money starting September 29th. Tolls on the roadway are dependent, of course, not just on your vehicle, but also the travel direction and the time of day. Now, for most commuters in a regular car, the maximum toll will be $2.40. In brief this week, staying in the evergreen state of Washington, a reminder, toll exemptions for operators of public and private busing services, van pools, and ride-sharing services is coming to an end on October 1st. The changes will impact crossings at the State Road 520 bridge as well as the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. The Washington Standard pointed out this is the first time transit users will have to cover a part of a toll charge as part of their fare. The public comment period in New York has ended for those wanting to express an on-the-record opinion about the new tolls for the MTA bridges and tunnels in the city itself. Those tolls are slated to take effect at the beginning of 2026. Hybrid public hearings on those increases were held on 3 occasions in August. The last public comment day happened over the weekend on September 14th. And the Garson Point Bridge in Florida's Panhandle is going cashless at the end of the month. The Florida Department of Transportation made the announcement in the past week. FDOT officials announced they'll be replacing the toll booths on the bridge with the cashless system, part of their statewide conversion to cashless tolling. The Gordie Howe Bridge across the Detroit River between Detroit and Windsor, Ontario, Canada is set to open in a matter of weeks, and the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority is now slated to hold a webinar series to help commercial users get up to speed, as it were, on getting accounts set up, as well as preparing for tolling and using the crossing itself. Officials announced the series just ahead of the weekend, so you do have to sign up to join that webinar. The deadline for the sign-up is September 26th. The webinar itself is on October 2nd with a 1-hour presentation at 12 p.m. Again, commercial vehicle drivers are encouraged to sign up for this Gordie Howe International Crossing webinar. The deadline for sign-up, September 26th. And finally this week, October 2nd, is the deadline for public comments for a preferred alternative development plan for the Central Florida Expressway's proposed Southport Connector Expressway project. That's a 15-mile highway proposed for Osceola and Polk counties that would connect up to the existing Poinciana Parkway. 2 days of in-person public hearings are set for this week on Tuesday and again Thursday, and also a virtual public hearing is set for Wednesday evening between 5:30 and 7. Visit movepoinciana.com to get details on the virtual hearing and the live presentations. That will wrap things up for this week. Thank you once again for joining us. Remember to stay safe out there and please avoid distracted driving. Until next time, I'm Danny Pryor for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.